early 2000s were a weird time to be a young person. I know from experience. Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. We're raise up popcorn with Grant, everybody. And tonight we are talking about a movie, a documentary film. Movies and TV is what we do here, and that movie is The Ringleader, The Case of the Bling Ring. The Ringleader, The Case of the Bling Ring is directed by Aaron Lee Carr. It is a HBO documentary, and it tells the story of the Bling Ring. And for those who don't know, it was a real-life case that was adapted into, I think, a pretty terrific and pretty underrated 2013 film. Made my best of list in 2013, by Sofia Coppola, also called The Bling Ring, then starred Emma Watson. The case was essentially these teenage kids, primarily young women, but also a young gay man, who were high school students who would essentially break into famous people's houses. They kind of lived off of, they lived in Calabasas, and essentially what they did was they would find out that a lot of celebrities would leave their keys under their mat, and so what they would do is they would go in and would take their, not their money, but would take their accessories, their designer handbags, their jewelry, their bling, essentially. And what shot them in the foot is they would post it on social media, kind of in the early infancy of, pre-Facebook, end of the road of MySpace kind of era. And they would post these pictures, and it eventually shot them in the foot. A lot of them got prison time for it. And for years, the ringleader was believed to be this young woman named Rachel Lee. This documentary is primarily about her. She's the main talking head. We kind of see her side of the story. And that's the story. Here's the thing. I think that there is first off, I think that there is a great film to be made about, there was a great film that was made, theatrical film that was made about the Bling Ring, and I think it was Coppola's. I really do think it's a terrific film. I think it's underrated. I still think there is a great documentary to be made about the Bling Ring. The Ringleader is not quite that documentary, but I will say this: it is very good. It is very good. It's very thorough, but it's also very, very, what's the word? It's very limited, I guess is the, insular, in that I feel like the problem I have with this film is kind of one of the, and although I do think this documentary is better, problem I had with, in a way, Alan V. Farrow, where there really is only one voice really being spoken. Now, that being said, I will say this. I also think Alan V. Farrow was a better movie film, series, whatever you want to call it, because I do think the evidence is on the side of the one side of the story being correct about that instance. The problem I think that is inherent in The Ringleader is the fact that we really hear, there's a kind of more of a section than really needs to be there for a 90-minute documentary about the reaction to the Bling Ring movie. That's actually a prominent part of this documentary. And I think the reason that takes such prominence is because they could only get Rachel Lee. Now, that being said, Rachel Lee is someone who has not necessarily given a lot of interviews, so it was interesting hearing her speak. It would have been nice if more of the members of the Bling Ring also got to say something. Whether it was incriminating or not, hearing their part of it as well. We really only see her. We see Nick, who is I believe that's his name, who is the accomplice of the male member of the group, who kind of was on the outside of the Bling Ring, but he also kind of helped. And he wasn't in the movie, as far as I remember. And then we also have a lot of the lawyers and various police people involved, but we don't really have a lot of the other members of the Bling Ring. It really is just Rachel Lee. And I feel like that makes it somewhat less comprehensive than it should be. I feel like this story really does need like a limited series more than it does a 90-minute movie. As a point of comparison, last week HBO came out with a pretty terrific documentary that was in 3 one-hour parts called Savior Complex, which, different case entirely, but it was very thorough in that it does show both sides of the case in a compelling and thorough way. This really doesn't. Now, that being said, it's entertaining. It is interesting as sort of a slice of late 2000s life and what true crime looked like on a young, millennial level in the late 2000s. What television looked like, what the internet looked like, what reality TV looked like, how famous people were made. And there are some moments of resonance. There was one particular moment in which Rachel Lee talks about her relationship with the male member of the crew, whose name escapes me, about the one line from the movie The Bling Ring that stuck with her. That was a really great moment where he's narrating about how something to the extent of, I want her to know I'm sorry. I hope she knows that I never meant to hurt her, or something like that. And she says, in a way, when I watched the movie, I could hear him saying it, not the actor. And I thought that was really something to that extent. I thought that was a really powerful thing. And you do feel a little level of sympathy for Rachel Lee, because she was kind of thrown under the bus for the bad behavior of a lot of other people, and was made to look like she was kind of left holding the bag to some extent. Now, she did what she did also, let's be real, and she admits to it. To be fair, she does admit to what she did and how wrong it was. But yeah, she was kind of screwed over, which is a little bit unfair. That being said, I do think that there is a more comprehensive Bling Ring documentary. Ringleader isn't it? But at the same time, it is absolutely... It sounds like I'm really down on it. I'm really not. It is worth watching, but I do think I want someone else to make another documentary on the Bling Ring and maybe make it a little more comprehensive. That's all. That being said, I do recommend The Ringleader, and we'll just end it there. I'm going to give The Ringleader... I'm not going to go all the way, but you know what? I'm going to go pretty far. I'm going to give The Ringleader, the case of the Bling Ring, 4.5 stars. It's a low 4.5 stars. It is worth watching in every single... I absolutely recommend this movie, but again, it is a small part of a larger story, I feel, and I want to see the rest of it at some point. I think that there's still... The last word on this case has not quite been given by this film. That's all. Alright, but anyway, that being said, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Let's close the book on it. Trade the Trash, not much on HBO Max. Was there shawarma? No, there was not. Alright, that's it. We will be back tomorrow for a review of the horror thriller Appendage, which I forgot was coming out, based on the short film I saw at Sundance 2 years ago. So that'll be interesting seeing how they compare. We'll have a review of that. And then next week we have reviews of The Exorcist Believer, Shelter in Solitude, Hocus Pocus 30th Anniversary, and more to come. And also Taylor Swift The Eras Tour in a couple weeks. Also, stay tuned on Luke's channel for our live watch-along tomorrow night of The Blackening, and Tuesday for our watch-along double bill of Dark Shadows, and it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's Halloween season, so we're doing it up. So anyway, yeah, go check those out, and that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do, or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, hey Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews this and other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Twitter, I'm at Raised Grant. You can find me on Facebook, Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Instagram and Threads, at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. TikTok, at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Serialized, I'm all one word, all lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. Check out my podcast, Raising Popcorn's Greatest Podcast, on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have, and if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important, and I want to know down below, what did you think of The Ringleader, The Case of the Bling Ring? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Do you think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Make my extra better. Catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. See you around.